Chosen one, what if I told you that in just 7 days, everything you've been praying for could become real, but only if you hear this urgent message? They never wanted you to know this, but now it's too powerful to hide. You felt the weariness in your bones, the doubt creeping in when one more delay makes you wonder if your faith was misplaced. You've watched them move against you, whispering their schemes, confident that you'd stay powerless. But today, hidden truths are being unveiled. In this video, you will learn why the clock is ticking, how your setbacks were sacred preparation, and what you must do now to step into the destiny you were born for. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video and comment 77 below. Remember this, when the veil lifts, only the prepared will stand in full power. The call to immediate action. You felt that familiar ache of hesitation, the heavy weight of possibility pressing against your chest while fear whispers that you're not ready. You know what it is to stand at the edge of something great, heart-pounding, breath-catching, yet your feet refuse to move. They counted on this paralysis, betting that exhaustion and doubt would keep you frozen in place. Yet you are not alone in this moment of stillness. Every chosen one who's ever stood at the crossroads of destiny has felt the same tremor of uncertainty. What you're experiencing right now is the universe's way of testing whether you will rise or retreat. Stay close, because what you decide in the next few moments will echo through every turn of your life story. You've wrestled with the question of when to act, replaying scenarios late into the night, aching for clarity but finding only more confusion. Maybe you've stared at a blank page, fingers poised over the keyboard, unable to type the first word of your breakthrough. Or you've held your tongue in conversations where your voice craved expression, fearful that speaking up would expose you to ridicule. Perhaps you felt the sting of lost opportunities, the job you almost got, the partnership that dissolved, the platform that closed just as you prepared to share your message. Each hesitation felt like a betrayal of your own purpose, a silent agreement with the forces that hoped to see you sidelined. That emotional burden has been real, but it has also prepared you for this very moment when you must choose to break free from inertia. Then, as though a veil lifted, you realize that every delay was part of a divine choreography, a spiritual preparation meant to sharpen your resolve. In the lesser-known account of King Jehoiakim, who burned sacred scrolls yet catalyzed deeper prophecy, Jeremiah 36, we see that even acts meant to suppress truth can ignite a greater revelation. Your own moments of hesitation have been the crucible in which your faith was tested and your clarity refined. What felt like stalling was actually a necessary pause, allowing you to gather the makings of a vision that demands to be brought to life. Recognize now that your hesitation was not a setback but a covenant moment, a preparation to ensure that when you move with purpose and conviction. As soon as you open your eyes to this reality, signs of transformation ripple through your life like the first gust of wind before a storm breaks. You may notice inspiration striking in unexpected places, a single conversation ending with a spark of insight that propels you forward. An old friend might reach out with encouragement just when your confidence flutters. You wake with ideas that seem too vivid to be dreams, guiding you toward the actions you've long avoided. Even the environment around you shifts. Doors that felt permanently closed begin to creak, invitations appear for gatherings you almost skipped, and financial windows open in small, tangible ways. These are not mere coincidences but clear signals that divine timing is aligning your readiness with opportunity. Look for these markers, for they are the roadmap to your immediate action. Behind these emerging signs, unseen forces are arranging every detail to propel you forward. Your past struggles were never random tests of your stamina. They were precise chisels shaping the vessel of your destiny. Every moment you felt stuck, a spiritual ally moved mountains in your favor, nudging mentors to cross your path, orchestrating timely resources, and dissolving obstacles at the perfect instant. Those synchronistic phone calls, the exact amount you needed appearing in unexpected blessings, the overheard advice that solves your dilemma. All these affirm that faith and action are intricately linked. Divine law responds to your willingness to step out. The universe waits not for mere dreams but for decisive steps taken in trust. At this pivotal juncture, mere acknowledgement of these truths is not enough. You must choose to embody them. Fear of the unknown can tempt you to cling to the safety of inaction, whispering that the risk is greater than the reward. Many chosen ones falter here, tethered by the comfort of familiar hesitation. Yet true alignment requires more than seeing the path. It demands walking it with open eyes and an open heart. This is your sacred invitation to shed every last ounce of self-doubt and step into the role you were destined to play. When hesitation trembles in your limbs, remember that the very act of moving affirms your faith and invites greater clarity. Feel the surge of empowerment that comes when you decide to act now. Speak your intention clearly. I will move in faith and follow the guidance I've received. Then take tangible steps. Write that message, make that call, share that vision. Do it before the doubt finds words to stop you. Anchor each action in prayer or meditation, aligning your spirit with your goals. Surround yourself with those who cheer your first steps, for their support will fuel your momentum. Every stride you take cements your identity as a chosen one who does not merely dream but does. This is more than a momentary surge. It is the beginning of a new rhythm in your life. As you commit to immediate action, you will notice the flow of divine support intensify. Plans accelerate, obstacles vanish, and fresh inspiration floods in. The procrastination that once chained you dissolves, replaced by purposeful movement that carries you toward destiny. Remember that hesitation was never your home. Your true place is forward motion, guided by the currents of divine timing. Embrace that flow and allow it to carry your purpose into reality. Comment action if you feel the urgency stirring in your soul, ready to align every step with divine timing. This is your call to immediate action. Nothing can delay what has been ordained. The moment is now. The path is clear. They never saw your rise coming, but nothing can stand in the way of a chosen one who moves with faith. Understanding the divine shift, you felt it stirring deep beneath the surface of your daily life, like a distant thunder you can't yet place. You felt the impatience in your bones as old routines lose their grip, leaving you restless and craving something more. Maybe you've been waking earlier, heart pounding with ideas that demand action before your coffee cools. Or perhaps you're lying awake at night, wrestling with dreams that echo a calling you've tried to ignore. You're not alone in this unsettling threshold. Countless chosen ones sense this undercurrent of change sweeping through their world. The old patterns that once defined you, the comfortable beliefs, the tried and true strategies, feel brittle, as though they might shatter at the lightest touch. This is no mere mood shift. What you're experiencing is the onset of a divine realignment. Hidden truths are pulsing beneath your awareness, waiting for you to recognize the transformative power that's already rearranging the threads of your destiny. For too long, you felt bound by the weight of outdated stories about who you are and where you belong. Perhaps you've wrestled with the voice that says you're not ready, not knowledgeable enough, not worthy of the role you sense in your heart. You may have watched as others stepped forward, seizing chances you longed for, while you hesitated in the shadows of self-doubt. The frustration mounted with every missed opportunity and every invitation you declined out of fear. You've replayed conversations, confined by the echo of voices telling you to stay small and keep your head down. At the same time, spiritual thirst gnawed at you, a hunger for purpose, for meaning that transcends routine. Every routine prayer felt insufficient, every familiar ritual tasted stale. This struggle, painful as it was, has been the forge in which your readiness for change has been tempered. Underneath the confusion and frustration, divine preparation has been steadily at work. Then came that moment of clarity, as though a sudden wind swept away the curtain between you and a grander reality. In Ezekiel's vision of the temple's waters flowing eastward, life surged wherever the stream touched. Ezekiel 47 verses 1 to 12. What began as a trickle under the threshold became a rushing river, bringing healing and abundance to every dry place. Your own life mirrors this pattern. What once felt like a faint glimmer of hope is now swelling into an unstoppable flood of opportunity. This passage reminds you that divine shifts often start subtly, almost imperceptibly, until they engulf every corner of your existence. That minor nudge in your heart, that sudden clarity in prayer, that burst of creative energy, these were the first signs of a powerful current rising beneath you. Your role is to step into that river and let it carry you into the fullness of your calling. As you open your eyes to this reality, You begin to see unmistakable signs that transformation is underway. Ideas that once felt muddled now come with crystal clarity, as though someone has polished a lens through which your purpose shines bright. Conversations you thought would be routine suddenly ignite sparks of possibility, when a single question from a friend reveals a new angle on your vision. You wake with vivid insights, as if your dreams have become previews of the path ahead. Dead-end relationships that once drained you begin to reconfigure, shifting toward collaboration and mutual growth, or gently falling away so that new alliances can form. Projects you shelved for lack of direction now beckon with renewed relevance. These are not random energy spikes, but precise echoes of divine timing aligning your thoughts, your words, and your actions with the wave of change that demands you ride it. Notice these shifts, for they map out the contours of your next season. Behind these visible changes, higher forces are orchestrating every detail, ensuring that your journey isn't defined by chaos but by intentional design. Every time you felt stuck, a spiritual ally was nudging your path, redirecting resources, connecting you with mentors, or opening doors that once seemed locked. Perhaps you received an unanticipated message that solved a long-standing question, or a seemingly random article surfaced just when you needed guidance. These synchronicities are more than coincidences. They're invitations to trust the unseen mechanics of your elevation. Your moments of perseverance, the prayers you lifted in the silence, the small steps of faith you took when no one was looking, did not go unnoticed. They set into motion a divine mechanism that now accelerates your progress. Faith, it turns out, is not just belief. It's the engine that transforms promise into reality. At this pivotal point, mere observation of these shifts is not enough. You must decide to accept and embody the change fully. Many recoil here, haunted by the fear that embracing transformation will cost them the comfort of familiarity, even if that comfort felt suffocating. They hesitate, tethered to old identities that, while limiting, felt known. Yet true alignment demands courage, not just seeing the signs but stepping through them into the unknown. This is a sacred invitation to shed the skin of your former self and don the garments of your destiny. Recognize that resistance to change is simply fear in disguise, and that growth begins the moment you release your grip on the old and reach for the promise of what's next. In this decisive instant, you must choose whether to remain an observer of life or become its active architect. Feel the surge of empowerment that floods your spirit when you decide to embrace the shift wholeheartedly. Release the hesitations that whisper you're not ready, and declare, "I step into this transformation fully now." Let that declaration guide your next actions. Recommit to your spiritual practices, speak your vision aloud, and take concrete steps that reflect your newfound clarity. Surround yourself with voices that sound the same frequency of faith, for community will amplify your resolve. Seek accountability partners who celebrate your growth and remind you of your calling when doubt creeps back in. Each intentional move you make will tether you deeper into the stream of divine momentum, ensuring that once you step in, you'll never be carried off course. Your transformation is not a solitary event. It's a movement that ripples outward, affecting everything and everyone within its reach. As you align with this divine shift, you become a beacon for others still waiting in the shadows, showing them that change is less about effort and more about surrendering to the currents of destiny. The birds overhead trust the wind to carry them, so too must you trust that the invisible forces guiding you know the way better than your own fears. Comment "shift" if you sense this energetic rebirth in your soul, and let this word echo in your mind as you navigate each step. The shift is real, and it's sweeping through your world. This is your moment to rise into a new identity, a new purpose, and a new season of unstoppable influence. Forgiveness as the doorway to breakthrough. You've carried the weight of every offense like a heavy chain around your heart, convinced that remembering every slight would keep you safe from being hurt again. Late at night, you replay the scenes that cut deepest, the whispered betrayals over coffee, the promises broken without apology, the laughter that pierced more than any blade. Your spirit has known the sting of every word meant to wound, and in that pain you've built walls so high that even hope struggles to find its way in. You are not alone in this struggle. Every chosen one who has ever walked this path has known the tension between justice and mercy, wondering how to step forward when bitterness feels like the only faithful companion. But what you're about to uncover is the hidden door behind those walls. A gateway through forgiveness that leads not to weakness, but to the greatest breakthrough of your life. Listen closely, for in this revelation lies the power to shatter every shackle holding you back. You've seen how bitterness can become an identity, a cloak you wear as proof that you've been wronged and that you will not be vulnerable again. Perhaps you felt righteous in your anger when someone you trusted betrayed your confidence, or when a partnership fell apart thanks to their envy and deceit. You justified holding on to the hurt because forgiveness seemed like forgetting, like condoning what they did. You've tried to guard your heart by replaying the old wounds, believing that vigilance would protect you from future pain. Yet that vigilance only kept you bound, drugged on a steady supply of resentment that blurred your vision and sapped your joy. You longed for release, but the very act of letting go felt like betrayal against yourself. That emotional prison has been a slow suffocation, convincing you that your bitterness was your armor, when in truth it was the barrier between you and the blessings waiting beyond. Then came a moment of unexpected clarity in the silence of your heart, as though a fresh breeze swept through your inner prison and whispered that your chains were meant to fall. In the little-known story of Philemon and Onesimus, the Apostle Paul urged a slave owner to receive his runaway servant not as a slave but as a beloved brother, saying, "No longer as a bondservant but more than a bondservant, as a beloved brother." Philemon 1 verse 16. That simple act of letting go of legal rights and personal offense shifted the entire dynamic, replacing slavery with brotherhood. Your situation mirrors this ancient example. Your grievances gave you the illusion of power, but genuine freedom lies in the courage to release what you once thought you needed to hold. This turning point reframes your pain as the very catalyst for a transformation far deeper than any revenge could achieve. As soon as you open your eyes to the power of forgiving, you begin to see signs of transformation rippling through your life like sunbeams breaking through storm clouds. You notice that conversations once heavy with tension now carry a gentle warmth. A relationship you believed ruined may begin to repair itself as old resentments dissolve and fresh understanding fills the space between you. You may find that your own creativity and inspiration return as the toxic mental fog of anger lifts. Opportunities that were blocked by past hurts suddenly flow freely. An overdue apology paves the way for a new collaboration, or a business proposal finds support from people you never expected. Even internally, your spirit feels lighter, as though a door inside you has swung open to reveal a room full of hope and possibility. These shifts are not wishful thinking but the unmistakable workings of divine timing, aligning every part of your life with the breakthrough that forgiveness unleashes. Behind the scenes, higher forces have been dismantling the barriers forged by your bitterness, setting into motion circumstances that will elevate you. Every time you chose to identify with your pain, you gave birth to obstacles that hindered your path. But each instance you chose forgiveness, even if only in your heart, you planted seeds of divine favor. Perhaps you received an unexpected word of encouragement just when your faith faltered, or stumbled upon resources that solved problems you believed were unsolvable. These synchronicities are proof that forgiveness is not a passive act, but an invitation to co-create with the divine. Your willingness to forgive triggers hidden interventions, mentors who appear with timely wisdom, doors opening in unlikely places, and forms of prosperity that seem to defy explanation. Faith and forgiveness join hands in a sacred dance, manifesting blessings that reward your courage more than any tit-for-tat vengeance ever could. At this critical crossroads, many chosen ones feel the pull of fear, reluctant to let go of the anger that feels so familiar. They worry that forgiving means forgetting, that releasing resentment will leave them vulnerable to repeat offenses. They cling to the illusion that bitterness is protection, a shield against pain that they fear will return with greater force. Yet true alignment requires more than recognizing the benefits of forgiveness. It demands embracing it fully, even when your wounds still sting. This is your sacred moment, to decide whether you will remain anchored in the comfort of your suffering, or allow your heart to open wide enough to receive the healing awaiting you. In this decision lies the key to stepping into the fullness of your identity as a chosen one, no longer defined by your past but empowered by the breakthrough that mercy brings. Feel the surge of empowerment that fills your soul when you choose to release every trace of resentment. Speak this declaration into the silence of your spirit: I forgive and I am set free. Let this become your anthem as you move forward, day by day, moment by moment, practicing forgiveness in prayer, in conversation, and even in thought when old triggers arise. Engage in rituals that remind you of your commitment. Write a letter you never send, symbolically cast it into fire or water, journal the ways you see mercy opening new doors, or meditate on passages that celebrate grace over grievance. Seek out community among fellow chosen ones who champion forgiveness, drawing strength from each other's stories of liberation. Each intentional act of forgiveness deepens your breakthrough and reinforces the spiritual law that mercy precedes elevation. As you fully embrace forgiveness, you will witness the culmination of every trial you endured transforming into your greatest testimony. Your breakthrough will resonate through your words, your actions, and the very atmosphere around you, drawing others to seek the same freedom. What once seemed like a weak concession will prove to be your strongest declaration of power, rewriting the narrative of your life and demonstrating that grace conquers all. Comment breakthrough if you choose release over resentment, and carry this truth into every corner of your journey. Your path of forgiveness is not just a personal victory, it is the doorway to a breakthrough that will reshape your destiny and illuminate the way for others still bound by their bitterness. Revelation of true divine identity. You've spent years feeling like a misplaced piece in the grand puzzle of life, convinced that everyone else received the blueprint for purpose while you stared at blank pages. Some days, your reflection seems like a stranger, carrying the weight of untapped potential and the sting of unspoken dreams. You've questioned whether you'll ever break free from the echoes of self-doubt that reverberate in quiet moments, whispering that you're too ordinary for anything extraordinary. Yet here you stand, heart still beating with a restless hope that tomorrow can be different, that you're on the brink of discovering something that transcends every limitation you've ever known. You're not alone in this yearning. Countless chosen ones have wandered these same corridors of uncertainty, waiting for the revelation that will light the path ahead. What you're about to learn will awaken the truth of your divine identity, and in that awakening, you'll find the freedom to step into the life you were always meant to live. For too long, you've wrestled with the pressure to fit into molds that never suited your spirit, sacrificing authenticity for acceptance and bearing your true desires beneath layers of shoulds and oughts. You remember the sting of rejection when your ideas were dismissed as unrealistic, the pang of isolation when friends couldn't understand the call stirring within your soul, and the sinking realization that you were playing a part in a story someone else wrote. Each compromise felt like a small death, chipping away at the vibrant core of who you truly are. The emotional toll of living according to external expectations can leave you hollow, constantly measuring yourself against standards never designed for your unique fingerprints. Yet that very struggle has been the crucible forging your readiness for revelation, preparing you to recognize and embrace the divine signature woven into every fiber of your being. Then came a moment when the turmoil of self-doubt itself became the catalyst for transformation, revealing that your challenges were never arbitrary obstacles but deliberate steps in a sacred preparation. Consider the unlikely prophet Jahaziel, hidden among the Levites when Judah faced an overwhelming army in 2 Chronicles 20 verse 14. His emergence carried a message that turned defeat into victory. Do not be afraid or discouraged because of this vast army. For the battle is not yours, but God's. Like Jahaziel's sudden clarity in the crisis, your uncertainty has been the soil nurturing an awareness that your calling extends beyond personal achievement. Your doubts serve to humble pride and sharpen your sensitivity to the divine, preparing you to hear the voice that declares who you really are even before the whole world recognizes it. As your heart opens to this truth, you begin to notice unmistakable signs of transformation rippling through your daily life, subtle yet profound shifts that confirm divine timing is real. You may catch yourself speaking with a new confidence, articulating ideas that once felt too audacious to voice. Relationships recalibrate, drawing out authenticity rather than pretenses, as if the universe aligns you with those who reflect the truth of your identity back to you. Creative insights flow more effortlessly, and opportunities you once overlooked begin to appear at your doorstep. Even moments of stillness carry a fresh clarity, as though your mind itself recognizes the new resonance of purpose echoing through your spirit. These are no random miracles, but the waking of your soul to the blueprint etched before time began. Your revelation of true divine identity is not an endpoint but the launchpad for everything to come. As you stand in the knowledge of who you are, you become a catalyst for change in every sphere you enter: your family, your community, your work. 7-day countdown to destiny manifestation. You felt the pressure of time pressing in on you like walls closing during a siege, every tick of the clock echoing your deepest fears. What if the moment for transformation slips through your fingers? You're no stranger to the ache that comes from standing at the threshold of destiny, heart pounding with anticipation while your feet remain rooted in uncertainty. The world around you moves forward, opportunities arise, doors open for others, but you've wrestled with the nagging suspicion that perhaps divine timing has passed you by. Yet you are not alone in this tension. Many chosen ones have stood in your shoes, sensing that an hour of breakthrough is at hand, but doubting whether they'll ever muster the courage to step through the gate. What you're about to discover will reveal why every second matters, why the next 7 days carry cosmic weight, and how a dedicated countdown can shift you from paralyzed waiting into unstoppable action. For too long, you've wrestled with the emptiness of preparation without progress, as though you were caught in a desert windstorm. Enough grit swirls around you to reshape your destiny, but the storm never seems to bring rain. You remember nights spent praying, eyes closed tight, hoping for a sign that your faith would yield fruit, only to open your eyes in the morning to the same dry stillness. You felt the frustration of praying fervently for clarity and finding your vision clouded instead, as if every answer you sought floated just beyond your reach. You've tempted yourself with plans for tomorrow, convinced that a fresh sunrise might carry the breakthrough you craved, yet those sunrises passed without change. Each missed opportunity left an ache in your spirit, whispering doubts about whether your purpose was real or just a dream. That ache has been the silent forge refining your resolve, preparing you for the moment when intention aligns with action in a 7-day ignition of destiny. Then came the moment when insight cut through your stagnation like a blade, reminding you that divine rhythms often unfold in the pattern of 7. Remember the story of Naaman, the commander healed of leprosy not after elaborate rituals but by dipping in the Jordan River 7 times. According to the prophet Elisha's instruction, 2 Kings 5 verses 10 to 14. Naaman's obedience over those 7 dips washed away what generations of affliction could not, revealing that persistence in faith aligns you with the current of miracle. Your waiting has not been wasted. Each day you've held fast to hope has been a dip in the river of divine promise, gradually eroding the walls that confined you. This turning point reframes every moment of delay as preparation for a sacred 7-day devotion that will dismantle barriers more immovable than despair itself. As you embrace this 7-day countdown, you begin to perceive subtle yet undeniable signs of transformation weaving through your life. On the first day, you may feel a spark of clarity, an idea or strategy emerging that had remained hidden in the fog of hesitation. By the second day, relationships that once felt stagnant may respond with unexpected warmth as you speak from a place of renewed confidence. The third day brings a sense of momentum, a gentle yet powerful shift in opportunities. An awaited email arrives, a contact returns your call, or a conversation reveals a path forward. On the fourth day, inner blocks crack under the pressure of faith, dreams that once felt impossible shimmer with possibility. By the 5th and 6th days, doors you thought sealed begin to open, sometimes in surprising ways. A new partnership forms, resources align, or a mentor steps into view. Finally, on the 7th day, you stand at the precipice of your destiny, having cleared more ground in 1 week than you might have in months of waiting. Your breakthrough begins now. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Like this video, and comment "I am chosen" to let this message anchor in your soul. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. Thank you to all supporting members whose faith fuels these revelations. For full prophetic revelations daily, join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. And if this message moved you deeply, consider tapping the Super Thanks button to support the mission. Every Super Thanks fuels the light we're spreading together. Stay ready, stay faithful, and remember, your destiny is unfolding, and they never saw it coming.